As the grip of the pandemic slowly loosens and fades into distant memory, a troubling truth emerges, hinting at the possibility of a new era of global chaos. Andrew Huberman steps forward, ready to unveil revelations that have the potential to shake the world to its core. Armed with enigmatic knowledge, he pierces through the veil of secrecy, unmasking hidden truths about the origins and consequences of pandemics. Huberman's cryptic disclosures intertwine with grave warnings from the leader of the World Health Organization, painting a bleak picture of the future. As viruses continue to jump from animals to humans and advancements in biotechnology loom ominously, Huberman's unsettling revelations expose a world teetering on the brink of a darker and more nefarious catastrophe. In response, the World Health Organization and member countries, driven by urgency, joined forces to forge a clandestine global pandemic accord. This audacious alliance aims to strengthen international mechanisms, ensuring swift and resolute responses to the imminent wave of global upheaval foretold by Huberman's revelations. While news of the Global Pandemic Accord has gained significant attention in the UK, its global recognition remains relatively limited. However, shedding light on the World Health Organization's efforts to develop a comprehensive strategy for addressing the looming threat of future pandemics is crucial. Disagreements surrounding the World Health Organization's authority have surfaced, with concerns raised by British lawmakers regarding potential overreach. While it remains uncertain if the World Health Organization would have power to dictate pandemic responses to individual nations, engaging in constructive discussions about the balance of power between global health organizations and national governments is. I can't overstate, it's really important. Public opinion plays a pivotal role in shaping the outcome of this initiative. Citizens worldwide bear significant responsibility in expressing their perspectives through various media channels, including talk shows and radio broadcasts. It is essential to take a clear stance, firmly stating, "We do not support the implementation of a World Health Organization global pandemic treaty." Active participation in these conversations enables individuals to contribute to the formation of a consensus that aligns with their values and safeguards their nation's sovereignty. Given the potential implications of an international body mandating pandemic responses, cautious consideration of this topic becomes very important. While extreme measures are possible, it's important to recognize that what may be regarded as a conspiracy theory today could become a reality tomorrow. Striking a balance between this notion and acknowledging that some jurisdictions thrive by disregarding official recommendations during the current pandemic, it becomes readily apparent that finding the right path forward requires careful evaluation. Drawing parallels between Sweden's approach and that of Florida, it's pretty clear that a single global entity dictating pandemic management may need to account for the unique circumstances and varying effectiveness across nations. Maintaining a critical eye on these actions and decisions of global health organizations is paramount. Reflecting on the World Health Organization's initial endorsement of the Beijing government's claim that the COVID-19 pandemic could not transmit between humans, we recognize the significance of transparency and accountability. The adoption of a centralized model based on the containment and eradication strategy employed in Wuhan had far-reaching consequences, causing immense suffering worldwide. As the world grapples with an endemic virus, it's crucial to remain vigilant and demand evidence-based policies that prioritize the overall well-being of populations. So, as the World Health Organization strives to prepare humanity for the next pandemic, the Global Pandemic Accord emerges as a cornerstone of their strategy. While concerns and debates regarding its implementation persist, engaging in thoughtful discussions and expressing public opinion is of the utmost importance. The warnings issued by the WHO regarding the potential severity of the next pandemic serve as the crucial reminder of the importance of global preparedness. As the world faces increasing viral spillovers and potential man-made pandemics, the need for a comprehensive and collaborative approach becomes evident. The Global Pandemic Accord being developed by the World Health Organization alongside member states holds the promise of enhancing global mechanisms for addressing and responding to emergencies. However, it's essential to approach this initiative with caution. Considering the balance of power between international health organizations and national governments, by actively participating in public discourse, individuals can influence the outcome and ensure that decisions are made transparently and accountably. Together, we can chart a safer future that prioritizes the well-being of populations while preserving national sovereignty. Gotta emphasize that point. The Global Pandemic Treaty has recently become a subject of significant concern and discussion. This international agreement has garnered attention around the world. Its implications and potential consequences have ignited furious debates about the extent of government control, individual freedoms, and the need for transparency. This treaty, highlighted in an exclusive report, has raised eyebrows and stirred apprehension. The World Health Organization convenes an annual meeting in May, during which member states gather to sign various agreements. However, the specific details and implications of the treaty remain largely undisclosed, leaving many in the dark. This question becomes particularly relevant when considering the views and work of Andrew Huberman. Huberman's research focuses on understanding the neural mechanisms underlying vision and control of arousal, emotion, and behavior. His work has shed light on the complex interplay between the brain, perception, and consciousness. Huberman argues that safeguarding public health and minimizing the risk of future pandemics is of the utmost importance. However, he emphasizes the need for a balanced approach that respects individual freedoms and avoids excessive governmental control. In his view, it's crucial to find a middle ground that allows for effective disease prevention and response while preserving personal autonomy. According to Huberman, one possible solution lies in harnessing the power of science and technology to develop innovative tools and strategies for combating infectious diseases. He believes that investing in research and development can lead to breakthroughs in diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines, ultimately reducing the need for invasive measures that encroach on personal freedoms. By focusing on scientific advancements, societies can enhance their capacity to address global health challenges without resorting to heavy-handed interventions. Furthermore, Huberman advocates for transparent and inclusive decision-making processes. He asserts that public trust and engagement are vital components of an effective pandemic response. By involving the public in policy discussions and providing clear information about the objectives and potential consequences of a global pandemic treaty, governments can foster a sense of ownership and collective responsibility. This approach not only strengthens the legitimacy of measures undertaken, but it also ensures that voices and concerns of the populace are taken into account. They're heard. The voices of the people are heard. In line with Huberman's views, proponents of a balanced approach argue that individual freedoms should only be restricted when absolutely necessary and with adequate justification. They propose that any pandemic treaty should clearly define what circumstances under which extraordinary measures can be implemented and establish robust safeguards to prevent the abuse of power. Such provisions could include sunset clauses, regular review mechanisms, and judicial oversight to ensure that any restrictions imposed on personal liberties are temporary, they're proportionate, and they're based on scientific evidence. Opponents of excessive governmental control express concerns about their potential long-term effects of surrendering personal freedoms in the name of global health security. They argue that history has shown how emergency measures introduced during times of crisis can persist even after the times of crisis have abated, leading to the sheer erosion of civil liberties. They emphasize the need for vigilance and democratic checks and balances to prevent that overreach of state power. The Global Pandemic Treaty debates raises important questions about the balance between individual freedoms and public health security. Andrew Huberman's insights highlight the significance of approaching this issue with careful consideration for both scientific advancements and democratic principles. By fostering transparency, public engagement, and a focus on research and development, societies can navigate the complexities of disease prevention and response while upholding personal autonomy. Ultimately, finding a middle ground that promotes global health security without unduly sacrificing civil liberties is essential for a sustainable and a resilient future, which I want. I don't know if you want. Rhetorical question, McGee says. In a similar vein, the work and research of Dr. Andrew Huberman have the potential to ignite a transformative revolution in the field of neuroscience and human performance. Through his groundbreaking research, Dr. Huberman has shed light on the intricate workings of the human brain and its remarkable ability to adapt and change. He's pioneered new insights into the plasticity of the brain, demonstrating that it can be rewired and it can be reprogrammed through targeted interventions and techniques. His work has challenged the long-held belief that the brain is a static and unchangeable organ, revealing its incredible capacity for growth and development. One of the key areas of Dr. Huberman's research is the neurobiology of vision and its implications for human performance. He's uncovered groundbreaking discoveries about the role of light in regulating brain function and its profound impact on our overall well-being. His research has revealed the critical role of specific wavelengths of light in regulating circadian rhythms, sleep patterns, mood, cognitive performance. These findings have far-reaching implications for a wide variety of fields, including medicine, psychology, education, and even space exploration. By harnessing the power of light and understanding its effects in the brain, we have the potential to enhance human performance, optimize cognitive function, and to promote overall well-being. Mr. Huberman's research also delves into the mechanisms behind fear, stress, anxiety, offering new insights into how these emotions are processed in the brain. Through his work, we have uncovered strategies and techniques that can help individuals manage and overcome these debilitating states, providing hope and relief for millions who suffer from anxiety-related disorders. And I know it's a lot of us. Furthermore, Dr. Huberman's research has shed light on the neural mechanisms underlying resilience and the ability to bounce back from adversity. By understanding the brain's adaptive responses to stress and trauma, he's identified strategies and interventions that can enhance resilience and promote mental and emotional well-being. The implications of Dr. Huberman's work extend beyond the individual level. By unraveling the mysteries of the brain and developing interventions that enhance human performance and well-being, we have the potential to create a more resilient, a more thriving society. From education to healthcare to the workplace, the insights gained from Dr. Huberman's research can inform and shape the policies and practices that promote optimal brain function. So, yeah. In an intriguing conversation with none other than, you already know, Joe Rogan, Huberman delves into the controversial Wuhan lab leak theory. As a lover of exotic animals and an advocate for animal conservation, Huberman's interest was piqued when he heard about the initial links between the virus and the pangolin. However, his investigations led him down a fascinating rabbit hole, exploring the gruesome world of exotic animal traits. Huberman also uncovers startling revelations about the Wuhan lab and its connections to the Chinese Communist Party. At the onset of the pandemic, numerous papers emerged about the virus sequence found in pangolins. These scaly creatures, with their mysterious allure, are being sold in the infamous Wuhan market. Huberman, who serves on the editorial boards of prestigious scientific journals, found this research deeply disturbing. Not only were these beautiful animals being subjected to close confinement and horrifying conditions, but their meat was considered a delicacy. While investigating the exotic animal trade, Huberman stumbled upon peculiarities within the Wuhan lab itself. He discovered that a laboratory member with only a master's degree was in position of authority, running experiments with high-restriction viruses. Now, typically, a principal investigator in such a facility possesses a PhD or an MD, if not both. So this anomaly raised eyebrows, and it prompted discussions in the scientific community about the potential influence of her significant other, who happened to be a member of the Chinese Communist Party. Such connections between the laboratory and the Chinese government weren't uncommon, as all laboratories in China maintain deep ties to the state. This revelation set the stage for contemplating the plausibility of a lab leak scenario. Huberman, drawing upon his own experiences working with various viruses, highlighted the possibility of human error in laboratory settings. Although he didn't assert whether the leak was intentional or accidental, he found the idea of a laboratory leak more credible than the notion of a virus originating from a pangolin in the market. He explained that while his laboratory took meticulous precautions, accidents happen everywhere. In fact, the Wuhan lab has been cited in 2018 for violating safety protocols. A simple act of pipetting, a common laboratory technique, could result in a single droplet of the virus being transferred under the lab coat. So if that lab coat were to be hung on a rack or touched by someone, that virus could find its way out into the world. Huberman emphasized that it didn't require an elaborate conspiracy, but just a lapse in caution for a moment, for the virus to escape the confines of the lab. As Huberman's exploration of the Wuhan lab leak theory unfolds, the enigma surrounding the origins of the coronavirus persists. While compelling evidence points towards the possibility of a laboratory leak, concrete proof remains elusive. So, the complex web of connections between the laboratory, the Chinese Communist Party, and the exotic animal trade paints a multifaceted picture of potential influences and motivations. Huberman's journey serves as a reminder that the search for truth requires careful examination of all available information, encouraging scientists and researchers to keep pushing for transparency and thorough investigations. In his captivating conversation with, the Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman sheds light on the Wuhan lab theory leak, a subject that has captivated the world's attention. From his initial interest in the pangolin connection to his investigation into the Wuhan lab's peculiarities, Huberman invites us to explore the possibility of a laboratory leak as a credible explanation for the origin of the coronavirus. So, as the enigma persists, only one thing really remains certain. Unraveling the mystery surrounding the pandemic requires a tireless pursuit of truth, driven by scientific curiosity, and a commitment to unraveling the complexities of our world. It feels as if we're teetering on the precipice of a monumental shift that mirrors mankind's first encounter with fire. That force of nature, if you'll recall, was a remarkable discovery, but was also a double-edged sword, bringing warmth, light, and cooked food, but also the risk of total destruction. Today, we're on the brink of something real similar with artificial intelligence, commonly known as AI. As we venture into the thrilling yet unpredictable landscape here, imagine the individuals driving this revolution, not as ominous figures in shadowy labs, but as master blacksmiths of our digital age. Picture figures like the Sam Altman of OpenAI, Kevin Scott from Microsoft, and an array of prodigious minds from Google. Together, they are fashioning I want to call it a remarkable tool, but it's more than a tool. It is absolutely more than a tool. This, for lack of better words, tool, however, much like the fire, can facilitate extraordinary feats or incite unforeseen devastation. These pioneers have established an organization that they call the Center for AI Safety, a symbolic lighthouse in the digital sea of AI. Their mission? To guide us, educate us, caution us about the sweeping wave of AI that they are so deeply immersed in crafting. It might make you wonder, why are the architects of AI sounding an alarm about their own creation? Do they need to be a little more confident in their work? The reasons, very similar to our interaction with fire, are nuanced. They recognize that AI, much like fire, while being a boon, could also bring about widespread destruction if it's not handled correctly. They see the far-reaching benefits of AI, but they also anticipate its potential pitfalls. Their call might be a plea to have appropriate regulations, in understanding that institutions with a solid foundation in AI, like OpenAI, could weather regulatory changes better than their less established counterparts. So, as we discuss these potential threats, I'm not referring to a dystopian future where malevolent robots rule over us humans. Instead, the risks are much subtler, but no less consequential. Consider the widespread influence of the internet. False information, driven by AI algorithms, can quickly propagate, leading to widespread confusion and harm. To illustrate, a recent incident saw an AI-created image of a non-existent explosion at the Pentagon send shockwaves throughout the stock market. AI, in its current state, could also inadvertently replicate biases. An AI model, much like a mirror, could reflect the prejudices of its creators. If unchecked, this could result in unfair and harmful repercussions. Such risks underscore the need for careful supervision and control of AI technology, akin to how our ancestors had to manage and control fire to prevent disastrous, fires. So, are the threats posed by AI as grave as climate change or nuclear war? That's a philosophical debate of sorts, but the fact remains that we gotta tackle these challenges with urgency. No more sitting on our asses. The potential perils of AI could be given as much attention as the remarkable promises it holds for our future. Like a high-speed car chase, the rapid advancement of AI technology is making it increasingly challenging for regulatory measures to keep up. It's like trying to outline the rules for a game while it's already underway. And on top of that, the game changes its source code every week. This is not a situation we can afford to be lax about. And the purpose of this whole spiel is not to induce fear, but to start a conversation with you, your friends, your household, just get you thinking, to inspire mindfulness. Information's a powerful tool, and we should use it wisely as we step into this new era. The ultimate power rests within us, the collective society. Our choices and actions will mold the future of AI. This is the true essence of our society. A society learning to control a new form of fire, AI. Just as our forebears managed to harness fire for their benefit, can we do the same with AI? That's the ongoing narrative, a future we are actively shaping. The roles of figures like Andrew Huberman is paramount in this narrative. By envisioning a new health landscape with AI, he strives to prevent a repetition of past errors, such as those made by the World Health Organization. Huberman champions the responsible use of AI to revolutionize health, ensuring the mistakes of the past don't happen again. So, the story we're weaving is captivating, not because it's filled with dire warnings, but because it's an active testament to our resilience, our curiosity, our adaptability. We are at the helm of an extraordinary journey, shaping and being shaped by this new age of AI. It's a compelling tale still being written, and we all got a part to play in its unfolding.